Well, hello and welcome back to Weaponology. I like that word, Weaponology Wednesday with Johnny Tiger. Yeah, okay, enough screwing around. We are not really going to be talking like weapons, but I thought it's fitting because we are looking at a knife. Um, Today is June 14, 2023, and yes, I missed Tactical Tuesday yesterday. Uh, Long story short, I spent all day waiting for UPS to show up because tracking number said the parcel was going to show up. So I didn't even want to even attempt to do a video while I wasn't sure when they were going to ring the doorbell. Long story short, they never showed up. So I had to wait most of the day today. Again, luckily, it's all behind us now. I did end up receiving the parcel. So that is my excuse why we didn't have a Tactical Tuesday yesterday. So we'll do two videos today. We'll look at this quick knife review, and then later on, I'll come back for some Wisdom Wednesday. Uh, we get war and peace all in one day. How awesome is that? So, what is this? This is actually a lesser known brand of knife. This is a Marbles Double Blade Hunter. Marbles is the brand, and the name is a Double Blade Hunter. Now, Double Blade Hunter, make it sound really cool, really badass, right? Like you think in your mind, you might be conjuring up some like lightsaber Darth Maul, Star Wars kind of imagery. But yeah, no, it's not quite as impressive as it sounds. It's a cool knife, but Marbles is a brand that we don't hear much about nowadays. It's one of those brands that used to be pretty good when it was made in the USA, but then it became mostly known for cheapy budget knives made in China, and then it just kind of faded into obscurity after that. Uh, I got this knife back in around 2006, I believe, so it's been with me for a while. I've put it through the test, put it through the ringer, and it's still here. So that kind of uh, already can give can stand witness to its lasting power because I did put this knife through some heavy use. Brought it camping with me, used it to uh, carve wood and chop branches. It's a little bit small for that, but if you are in the pinch and you need a knife to just help you slice down some blackberry bushes, this is okay. It can do that. It is, as you guys can probably see, a nice chunky folding knife. The handle especially is very chunky. This is quite hefty too. Like this is honestly a knife that if you are in a pinch and you need to throw it at someone, I wouldn't even worry about deploying the knife and then throw it as a throwing knife. Just chuck this at somebody. This is going to knock them out. Like this is one hefty, chunky knife. Even when it's folded. Like it feels like a rock in your pocket. It feels like a rock in your hand. Like you can take this and bash it over someone's head, and that's going to do the job. You don't even need the blade part. So take that into consideration whether you like a heavy knife or you don't like a heavy knife. This may be a pro and a con. For me personally, I love a big chunky knife, so this is actually quite nice. I like the way it feels. It makes me feel like uh, there's some nice weight in my hand when I hold this, and when I have this in my pocket, it feels nice and secure. The handle is just over 4 inches long, and it is made of metal. I'm not sure if this is aluminum or not. I don't have the original specs, but it's metal, and it has the marbles shield on the front, and it's got some black checkered pattern. And if you flip it over, on the back side, there's a nice stainless steel pocket clip. Um, that is not reversible, I'm sorry to say. So look like the way it's on, it's the way you have to carry it. So pretty much for right hand carry, I suppose. Although a knife like this, you can technically do left or right carry. Uh, Now, what makes this knife really unique, of course, is it houses two rather sizable blades in the handle. So not like your regular switch knife, your regular flip knife, that only usually have one blade. This one has two, and that's kind of cool. So the two blade you have, they both come out the same side. Unfortunately, I wish they come out opposite side. That would be really cool. So there's a some stud on the left, and there's some stud on the right. Although if you are using this for your right hand, that's probably just a finger stud. Uh, so you use this finger stud to open the knife, and then if you want to, you can flip it open. I'm trying to do this carefully because I never know if the cat is on the counter or not. Um, but yeah, normally you can flip this open quite well. It has a nice weighty uh, blade that assists on its flipping open. To close this, this is a lock back knife, so which means there are locking mechanism on the back of the hilt rather than like frame lock, which we looked at a lot of time. The frame lock, you would disengage the lock from the bottom here, but for lock back knife, there's a there are buttons like on the top of the handle. You just push the button down and then you take your other hand and then you fold the knife in. Okay, so there's no fancy one hand folding for this thing. Like when you want to close it, you do need two hands. One hand needs to hold down the button, the other hand to close the knife. Okay, so that is one of the kind of a drawback with lock back knife. Another drawback I will show you guys is when we deploy the knife and when you want to hold this, because there's still another knife in the handle, so the grip is really wonky. Like when you are holding this and try to do fine carving or stuff like that, the spine of this other knife keep digging into uh, your the inside of your finger. It's not a comfortable grip at all. This is kind of rough and uncomfortable. So that is one thing that you want to take into consideration before getting a Marvel's double blade hunter for yourself. The blades are just over 3 inches long, and when it's fully extended, the handle and the blade makes the knife just under 8 inches long. So it's a pretty good sized knife. The two blades, they are stainless steel, although I don't know what kind of stainless steel. Like I said, it's a budget line Chinese made knife, so they don't really tell you what kind of metal it is. They just tell you uh, stainless steel. So the first blade, the hunting blade we have here, that the one, if you hold this knife, this will be the left blade. We'll call it the left blade. It's a hunting blade. Yeah, this is a very standard, like a big pocket knife with half and half. It's a combo edge, so plain edge in the front, serration in the back. On the back, there's some jimping for your thumb to go. Put your thumb there, although not very comfortable. Like the whole construction of this knife it feels rough. This whole knife feels rough. So if you have delicate hand, this is not a good knife. And there's no finger guard either, and so you got to be very careful. Your finger don't slip onto the blade by accident. Right? Okay, so that's the left blade. The right blade here, uh, it looks also very similar to that one, but this one has a gut hook on the back. Okay, what is this for? Those of you that don't do hunting, you're thinking this is some weird, like cool, like Chinese weapon, like a hook sword. No, that's not what it's for. This is for when you want to open up an animal, like after you uh, kill your game or you kill a fish and you want to gut the fish or the animal. You use this little hook on the back of the blade and then open up the cavity like a zipper. Okay, this inside of the hook is bladed, so you get this hook inside into the. You cut a little opening in the uh, animal, and then you get the hook in there, and then open, right? Okay, so that's what that's for. When you hear gut hook, it's not some fancy self-defense for you to disembowel someone. That's not what that's for. Okay. Again, the jumping on the back. And again, when you have this extended, uh, you have this other knife in, so make it hard to hold properly, very uncomfortable. And again, if you want to close this, you got to push the button with one hand, and then close this with the other hand, and then quickly take your finger out of the way so you don't hurt yourself. And if you want to be really goofy about it, you can extend both blades at the same time. And I don't know what you would do with this. It doesn't accomplish anything. It just look very cool like that, right? Like, wow. Yeah, this is some crazy looking knife with two blades extending the same way like that, right? But yeah, yeah, you usually wouldn't do that. At least I hope not. I don't see why you would. You should just one at a time, right? Now, the pocket clip makes this sit very secure in the pocket, and it has a pretty low profile, although the top of the handle does give you enough to grab and draw the knife. The knife also comes with a little uh, pouch that you can store it in. I don't know where that thing's gone off to. Like I said, I've owned this for so long, but just know that when you get this knife, it does come with a little pouch uh, that has a belt loop on it, so you can carry it on your gear bag or fanny pack. So that's pretty cool. So it's an easy to carry knife, and you do have the advantage of having two styles of blade. That's the regular uh, combo edge hunting knife, and then you have the more slim uh, hunting knife with a gut hook on it. Um, so that's the advantage. Yeah. Uh, there's also a linear hole on the back of the handle, at the very back of the handle. So you can put a lanyard on that, so you can carry it around your wrist. The shape of the handle, honestly, is nothing special. Let me extend both blades again so we can get a closer look at the handle. So here we go. The handle, basically, it's your very generic steak knife esque, dinner kitchen knife esque style handle, although it is big and chunky and metal, so it's a very sturdy handle. Funny enough, even though you would never do this, extending both blades at the same time, when you extend both blades, this is great. It feels great in the hand. Like now the other blade is not in the way. So now when you close your hand on this, it feels good. It have just the right contours for your fingers, and it's actually feel really secure in the hand. So unfortunately, when you actually have just one blade extended, it doesn't have that effect. But that is one interesting thing about this knife. Now let us do some quick cutting test. Okay, so I have this knife in my pocket of my vest right now, as you guys can maybe see. It does have a very low profile, so there's hardly anything sticking out other than the pocket clip, of course. And then, you take this out. Now, when you take this out, one thing I do notice that sometimes will happen is this thumb stud, because there's a thumb stud on both ends, and these thumb studs are a little rough. Like they're not finished very smoothly, so they're kind of rough. So when you pull this out sometime, the thumb stud might get caught on your pocket. As you can see, it is possible to flip this open, but it doesn't work as smoothly as a uh, regular like flip knife either. Like and primarily, the reason for that is because the thumb stud is set kind of far in. So usually, when you have a pocket knife, the thumb stud should be somewhere around here, about an inch in front of where this is. But the way this is made, the thumb stud is kind of far in on the blade. So when you push this open with your thumb, it's a little bit finicky. It doesn't like if they put the thumb stud a little bit closer to the handle, this would work a lot better. Now we have nothing special, a cheapo pizza box uh, from my prey the other day. My prey was a frozen pizza, and yes, I know I buy crappy frozen pizza. You know, when economy is really bad. I got to try to save money. Um, so we are going to open out our hunting blade first and then see what this can do. Oh, nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Yeah, nice and smooth. This cuts really, really well. I will say for budget line Chinese made knife, this cuts extremely well. Um, I do notice that while I'm cutting, there's a little tiny bit of wobbliness in the joint of the blade, but so far it's very minimal. Okay, so that's very minimal. Now we'll close the left blade and we'll use the hook blade and we'll see how the hook blade side uh, work. Now, one thing, of course, with the hook blade, you'll notice because the hook is on the back, so if you stab this in, this doesn't stab very good, right? Because the front is so wide, so this doesn't make a very good stabbing blade. The other blades stab much better. But this hook blade does give you the advantage of using the gut hook on the back to uh, try to zip open something. I don't have a very good grip here, but you guys can see, you can use like that. Yeah, this is actually very, very handy when you want to open a package or even just an envelope. You can use this back hook. And then of course you have the cutting edge on the front. Again, cuts very smoothly when you get the right cutting angle in here. It, yeah, yeah, this thing cuts beautifully. For a big chunky knife like this, like I said, this is no surprise to me. I've carried this for a long time. I've owned this for a long time. Uh, for a budget line knife, this is really not bad. It feels wonky in the hand because of the grip. It's so weird. Uh, but when you actually start cutting with it, this is nice. This is a good tool to have. Now, Of course, we got to go to our usual three questions. Uh, would the Marbles Double Blade Hunter make good uh, self-defense knife? Well, again, I said this before. If you want to, you can make any knife self-defense knife, right? It's not about the knife. But if we want to strictly say, would this be something I would carry for self-defense if I know I'm going to an area with a lot of bad people and I might have to defend myself? Probably not, right? Just because the way this pull out of your pocket, and then you have to mess with some stud and open it this way, and then the grip is so wonky that when you are actually in a fight, you are going to hurt your hand. And when you're in a fight and this the spine of the other blade is in the way, and you try to get a good grip, and if you loosen up your grip, the knife is going to slide through your hand and cut your finger. There's just too much that can go wrong. So for a self-defense knife, I'd say yeah, probably a no-no. Unless you just want to use this to smash someone over the head. I can see this work as a good bludgeoning bludgeoning tool. If I have this in my hand and I'm going to a fight, I'm just going to hammer the hell out of the person. As you can see, if I don't open the knife, this front part actually is perfect for putting my thumb on. And then I can use this backhand. It actually have kind of a wedge shape to the back. So if you hit someone with this, it's really concentrated blunt trauma. So yeah, if I want to just use this to smack someone, that would be okay, I guess. Um, so yeah, not good as a self-defense knife. Um, is a good utility? Well, yes, yes. Why would I say it's a good utility? Because as we saw, it cuts really beautifully, like for cardboard and fine angle cutting, and then you have the straight edge, you have the gut hook, you have the combo edge, serration if you need to saw something. If you want to pierce or stab, you use this blade, the left blade. It comes with a pouch to store this in. It has a linear on the hilt. Uh, So I say, yeah, for utility knife, if you just need something to open boxes and cut twines and uh, even just like as a hunting knife, if you need to gut fish and stuff like that, this is great. I say this is like for something that costs less than 25 bucks. This is great. You get two blades and you get a lot of mileage out of it. How about a survival knife? Okay, we always say it's a good survival knife. Um, Probably not, because one of the main thing about a survival knife, at least for me personally speaking, I want my survival knife to be a fixed blade, not a folding knife. A folding knife might be my secondary survival knife. Like if I'm going to the woods, if I'm going hiking or camping, I'll carry a big fixed blade, maybe a machete, or a big what do I call it? Uh, uh, K-bar style military knife, something like that, for my main use. And I will have a little smaller pocket folding knife as a backup, just in case I need it. Uh, the reason why you don't really want to use a pocket knife as a survival knife because a lot of the things that you need to do for survival require a lot of heavy chopping and heavy wedging, heavy duty work with your knife. So something like this, I mean, it's bad enough as it's a folding knife, but this is a folding knife, very cheaply made uh, in China. It's a budget line knife. It's not meant to be high end. So you don't know when this is going to fail on you when you start hammering wood with it. When you try to uh, stab this into a tree and then do stuff with it. So Uh, for survival use, no. I would say maybe use this as a backup survival knife, but even then, I would highly recommend if you, I mean, if you got to use something that you might have to uh, depend your life on, then get a higher end folding knife for your backup, for your survival knife. Marbles is a budget line pocket knife that is good for utility use, maybe good for light survival work, for a hunting trip, but overall, it is what it is. Uh, is it a good knife for 20 bucks, 15 bucks? Oh yeah, it's a great knife for 20 bucks, 15 bucks. But is it a knife that's so good that you can depend your life on it? Probably not.